All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome back to the Gloomhaven Grand Festival. My name is Price Johnson. I'm Chief Operating Officer here at Cephalofair Games, and today we are joined by one of our licensing and accessory partners, Folded Space. So here with me, we've got Richard and Liz, and I'm going to allow them to introduce themselves here real quickly. Richard, what would you like to go first?
Hi, Price. Yeah, thanks for having us. It's great to be a part of this amazing campaign you guys are running. So yeah, I'm Richard from Folded Space. I'm the I don't know what I call myself anymore. CEO, owner, uh, manager, whatever. Yeah. So
Keeper
Folded
of the
Space
phone,
is
right?
is my baby,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's great to be here. It's great to be a part of your stream.
yeah. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hi,
Liz.
everyone. I'm Liz. I do marketing and distribution for Folded Space. It's really great to be here.
Yeah, well, thank you both for cutting some time out of your day. I know you are not here in the States like I am in California. What time is it there where you're at?
It's
It's
8
this.
p.m.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're in Bulgaria.
Bulgaria. Yeah, so these inserts have come quite a long way because you make those locally there in Bulgaria, don't you?
Yes, we
Yeah, all
do.
our manufacturing is here in Sofia, Bulgaria.
Excellent. Well, let's kind of jump into it today. So, I mean, the main reason that we have you here today is to talk about some new and upcoming inserts that we have for one of our new titles as part of this crowdfunding campaign, Gloomhaven Second Edition. So, why don't we talk about the offerings we have part of the campaign right now?
Yeah, great. So the products that we have from Folded Space for the campaign are first of all the products which are already ready. The two products for Frosthaven. So we have our FS Frost insert for Frosthaven, which is a full color insert. This can hold up a couple of trays. So they're all done using art from the game with the blue foam, ice foam, and we have all the prints inside to tell you which components go where,
Yeah,
how
all the
everything
different
goes
monsters.
together. And yeah, so that's one product that's in the campaign. We also have our map archive folder. So this is for sorting all the map tiles by number. And yeah, Price has got one there.
Very
There's quite
prepared.
quite a lot
Been
of
very
those
quick.
around.
Yeah.
And it's a great product. It adds again using all the color from the game, so it adds a lot to the visuality when you're playing the game, but also when you're storing it because it kind of fits together with the game on the shelf. And we also have in this campaign a insert for Gloomhaven Second Edition, which obviously the images you'll see on the campaign are still mock-ups because we don't have the game yet, but that's something we'll be working on as soon as we have the pre-production copy of the game. And yeah, we're really looking forward to getting to work on that. But it'll be similar to the Frosthaven one. We'll be using all the art from the new second edition, getting in as much as we can of the new stuff, and you can kind of get an idea of the theme that it'll be from the mock-up that we put into the campaign. And then to complement that, we're going to make a map archive folder for Gloomhaven 2, which the plan is it should work for Gloomhaven First Edition and also for Second Edition. And we'd hope to get that map archive folder out a bit sooner than the fulfillment of the campaign itself, because then people can order it for their existing copies of Gloomhaven First Edition.
Yeah, that would be a welcome addition. I know if a lot of people out there in the Gloomhaven community are like myself, and this is really where the inspiration for that map archive came from in the first place, but is kind of using these homebrew write file folders to self store all of your tiles externally from the box in most cases. And so that's when, yeah, we kind of, when we came to the table with Folded Space, we were talking inserts and how are we going to tackle these map tiles, and that was a really fun initial meeting, Richard, having with you, because I don't know that it had quite clicked the same way in your mind that I already knew the Gloomhaven had connected with those file folder archives. So yeah.
Not really. No, I mean, yeah, it was kind of a new thing for us to get into, a new thing to do. But we found a great company to manufacture them locally, and I think we managed to fit the bill reasonably well. One
Yeah.
of the key things that Isaac required was for it to be recyclable. So it's all made from recyclable products, recyclable laminates, everything else, the ink. So that was a key step. And yeah, we're really pleased with the product, and it sells very well. People are really keen on it. It makes a
Yeah.
big difference getting the tiles, map tiles, out of the box. Gives you a lot more room in the box.
Yeah, it's a
Definitely.
big hit at conventions and things like that. People, it's a welcome solution to a problem we admittedly created, which is just too many map tiles. So
Yeah.
I guess a good
Yeah.
problem to have.
I think the
And
Gloomhaven map tile archive has been the number one request since we came out with the Frosthaven one. That across all like possible inserts or ideas for products, everyone's been asking for a Gloomhaven one. So I'm excited that we're finally able to do it.
Yeah.
it's really exciting to hear. And yeah, that we should talk about what a deviation that was from you. Richard, tell us a little bit more about just Folded Space, the background, the history of the company, how you got started. What is the bread and butter? I know, your specialty is foam inserts, but let's tell the people a little bit more about how you got started and how you found your niche in the gaming industry.
Yeah, sure. So I started Folded Space about 7 years ago. And at the time, I was making my own inserts for my own games using foam core, regular foam core that people have seen with paper and with like a sandwich between two layers of paper, and it's like a styrofoam center. And I found it very difficult, like everyone does, to make proper cuts and everything else. And I figured there must be a better way of doing it. I had a few wooden inserts, which seemed to be very heavy and quite hard to build.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, my daughter received a present of a house that she could build using a new kind of material that I'd never seen before, which was using a kind of EVA foam, like a memory foam, similar to what you get in flip-flops or in like a yoga mat. And then with the thick card, laminated on both sides. And so I figured, well, why can't we make inserts out of that? And I went to talk to the company that was manufacturing them here in Sofia, and the guy was very keen. He said, yeah, great, I would be happy to produce them. They'd already worked out how to do it, all the steps. And so we used Kickstarter to kickstart the business, to launch the initial range, I think, of 21 products. And the main product in that campaign was our insert for Gloomhaven, because 7 years ago, that was the massive buzz, as it has been ever since. And so that really drove that initial Kickstarter campaign. And then we did 2 more campaigns off the back of that, extended our range. Until today, we have over 166 products, I think, currently. And so, yeah, and I think our products have an edge. They're interesting because they're like half the price of a wooden insert. They're still very durable. They're easy to build, easy to work with, and they're very lightweight. So when you have it inside the game, it doesn't add a lot of weight. And when you've got a game that weighs 10, 12 kilos, you don't want to add a lot of weight to that box. So yeah. And then the thing that we started just really before our first conversation price is started to work on full color designs in partnership with the publishers. And so that means that we can now print designs from the game onto the trays, and the trays basically become a part of the game itself. Indeed, we have some games. I think Liz has got an example tray from.
Yeah, this is from Lacrimosa, and this
Lacrimosa,
is designed just to go on the board and blend in with the board artwork, and to like lay next to the board like that, and you can see what components go in each spot.
Yeah. So now these trays actually become a part of the board and have the same print as the board itself.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of potential there. Since we had our first conversation, we've made another 14 different full color inserts. I've got 3 more I'm working on right now on my desk here, and there's 2 more in the office. So there's loads more to come. And so I think full color is the way to go. And the interesting thing to talk about today is we're going to very soon be doing a full color insert for Jaws of the Lion.
Yes, very excited for that. And you touching on the weight of our games, right? Definitely a big decision maker in why we chose to move forward with Folded Space. Knowing that we were working with a 36-pound game, out of carton, the thought of adding wood on top of that, right? Not impossible. Most people keep their games at home, but being able to have something that realistically you can then lift the box once the insert and organizer is built and everything's properly organized, it goes a long way. So it definitely makes like my travel copies in my foam insert and my home copy is currently resides in wood, just so I can have the best of both worlds. But the full color artwork with as many components as we have, I can't tell you how much setup time that just eliminates, because everything just clearly indicates where it's supposed to go, from tokens to card to card decks and things like that. So that was really a goal of ours and why we talked about the full color Richard. And I was so excited that was something you guys had started exploring. Even more was like the ask, can we do something with the foam? I love the gray. The gray is okay, but I'm thinking icy blue. And you made that really creative and collaborative process figuring out what choices we had and how to make that happen. And you just kind of snapped your fingers and made it happen for us. I really appreciated that folded space.
It was a pleasure. It was a great project to work on. It's a beautiful game. The art is amazing, and there's a lot of really good graphic design as well. And so it fits really well with the trays. Made our job a bit easier in that way. The hardest thing was getting everything in the box.
Well, maybe a couple too many components in there, but that's just
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, one or two maybe.
Cool. So Liz, we've been working with you now, I think, for the last year and a half or so, and we always get to run into you at conventions and stuff. Most recently, you pulled me aside at Gamma, and I learned about a little table that you built. Do you want to tell us more about the new folded space table?
Sure. Well, that started out, I don't know if you know, but Folded Space really likes April 1st. Like every year, we come out with something for April 1st. And this year, or I guess a year ago now, I was watching a Dice Tower video, and it was a crowdfunding video. They were talking about what was coming out, and there was this game table coming out, and Z made an offhand comment that what you really want to do is order a game table from Folded Space because it would be light and easy to ship. And so I clipped that and I sent it to the team, and I was like, so April 1st. And so what started out as this idea to maybe make like a small mock-up and film angles to make it look like a table and to get quotes from them turned into us actually designing a full and functional game table that actually holds Frosthaven in the middle, and a person can sit on the edge.
For most people, yeah. Not for Tom Vassell, but for most people, it holds it.
That's true. If you chuck it through the table and the support is not there, it doesn't hold it. But if you just put it on the table, it works. So it was a really good project. Sorry, what?
What I'm hearing is Tom owes you a table, I think.
That was his requirement. So they agreed very kindly to do a video for us with the table. But he said from the beginning that he wanted to destroy it. So we said, go for it. Do what you want. And so he decided he wanted to throw Frosthaven through it.
They did such a good job, though. It was amazing.
Yeah.
There's so many gags they managed to pull into it, and they obviously enjoyed it, and they got as carried away making the video as we did making the table. So it worked really well.
Well, I was personally honored to have Frosthaven chucked at your table. So and also impressed because that's not an easy game to shot put. So go Tom. Been hitting
it must have been working out.
Yeah, very cool. So we've talked about the Gloomhaven inserts coming in the map archives. You did say the map archive for Gloomhaven is intended to be dual compatible with both versions of the games, right? First and second. I do know the map tiles between the first and second edition of the games are largely the same count. I think they may deviate by 1 or 2 tiles between the 2 editions. Speaking as best I can for the creative side right now, but on the production side, I think we easily can accommodate that for either games or owners of either edition. Just still kind of working out what that's going to look like and entail, but really excited to be offering that now retroactively. And like you said as well, Jaws of the Line, we're working on a full color insert there as well. Is there anything you want to highlight or talk about with that, or anything we can share in terms of timeline that we might kind of have our eyes on at the moment?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the first prototype should be ready tomorrow, and I reckon it'll be in production in probably 2 to 3 weeks' time. Okay. We were hoping to have it ready a bit earlier so we could bring some to Gen Con, but we're going to try and bring some in our luggage. So the first 30, 40 lucky people who come and ask for one at our stand at Gen Con will be able to buy one. So we're going to bring as many as we can in the luggage on the plane. But I think the insert's going to be great. I think people are going to love it. It's slightly different to the previous insert because we took out the tuck boxes for the characters, and we added in places where people could sort and organize all the components for each of the characters that they're playing. And so again, all the trays will be full color print. It'll all be coded what goes where. and it's very simple to use. It'll be slightly bigger than the previous one, and our plan is to continue to sell both. So we would sell the gray one still. So if somebody wanted a cheaper option, they could still access that. It'll still be available on our store. But the full color one will be slightly more money. It's slightly bigger. It uses one more sheet of material, and it will. You'll get all the color. You'll get all the organizing from the color and the print and everything else, and it'll really take the game to a whole new level. We hope. So yeah, I think it should be available on our store in 3 weeks' time. And as I said, if you're going to Gen Con, make our stand one of your first stops if you want one, because we will have 30, 40, but I imagine they'll go pretty quick. But at Gen Con, we'll have a lot of other stuff, so come by anyway.
I have 30, 40 less, however many I come over and steal for myself before the show.
Yeah, exactly.
That's also possible.
Well, I'm sure we'll send you one before that.
Cool. So we have a question in chat here I'd like to tackle. Ashen2 says, it is my hope that Gloomhaven 2nd Edition receives the same level of customer-oriented product packing and organization that is found in Frosthaven. That said, could a video be put together that shows how the default Gloomhaven 2nd Edition packaging compares to the folded space organization? That's a great question, and also very appreciative compliments there, Ashen2. So in regards to the native organization for Frosthaven, we looked back at Gloomhaven, right, and we clearly identified, all right, we think we can do this a little bit better when it comes to organizing and assembling the game natively at the factory before it even gets to you in the first place. I know myself as a fan, as a hobbyist, when I first got my first edition copy, I think I spent about an entire week organizing that game before I even could play it, just between sorting decks and punching tokens and bagging things with Ziplocs and file folders and stuff like that. And that was something I took personally, being in charge of Frosthaven, and I said, let's see how we can improve this experience. And we'd already done a lot with Jaws of the Lion to try and make that as playable out of the box as possible. We knew we weren't going to get quite that level of sort of hand-holding, but we still wanted to strike as close as we could to that. So with Frosthaven, we did introduce multiple layers of trays. Just about every deck has its own guaranteed dedicated card well natively out of the box. So you do have a place to put things back, even if you punch it that first night and are too excited to wait on your organizer to arrive and you just got to start playing right away. That being said, there's limitations to what we can do with native card wells. For example, sleeving cards. If you're gonna account for sleeved cards, generally you have to double the amount of space that you're providing for every individual card, and so that's just not possible in a native solution. We can get a little creative with the more important wells where we can, but really, if you're wanting to sleeve all of your cards, if you're wanting everything to truly have its own dedicated place, then that's where the aftermarket third-party licensed organizers really come into play. So with Gloomhaven 2nd Edition, we absolutely will be striking to do something similar with Frosthaven. It's going to look very similar to that solution natively out of the box. But if you're looking to card sleeve, if you're looking for full color artwork and something that is admittedly better, higher quality, and is going to last you a much longer time, that's where you want to be looking at folded space and laser ox type solutions, because those are really built to last. Whereas our plastic back trays, for all intents and purposes, is product packaging, right? So we do our best, but at the end of the day, the game really is what we're putting our time, money, and energy into making as best as possible. The native insert's certainly important too, especially to me, but takes a backseat to components and game design. So yeah, thank you for the question. And Richard and Liz, I don't know if you had anything to add to that, but I'm sure once we're a little bit further down the production, both on 2nd edition, but also on your insert, we could probably do some previews of what both are looking like over the course of updates on this project. So would you say that's for sure?
Yeah, as soon as we start having prototypes and everything else, we'll be getting you images and making sure everyone gets a good look at it.
Yeah, we'll definitely share as much as we possibly can on social media as soon as we have pictures and details, for sure. We'll put out as much as we can, and hopefully, like for the Frosthaven one, we made an assembly guide to show how it works. So we'll probably do something similar for the Gloomhaven one.
Yeah, and we had two really talented designers work with us too that I just want to plug real quick on the Frosthaven inserts. That was Matt Healy. He's I kid you not, like in his day job, he's like a submarine engineer, but for some reason, as a hobby, he enjoys helping us with inserts. And then we also had Derek Liam, who also has done a tremendous amount of component and tray design work in his time. And so both stepped in big time to help us on that, and will certainly be a part of our Gloomhaven second edition insert as well, provided they're available and interested in working with us again. So yeah, really looking forward to that. And I think we'll have many updates on both the second edition and on your work around the accessories for that second edition here over the next several months. So really looking forward to keeping the backers updated and answer questions that pop up. So I don't know if we have any other questions in the chat, but if anyone is watching, if you have any, please feel free to drop. I think we'll be here for a few more minutes and happy to answer any more questions that come up. But yeah, so right now, I know we are currently working on the Jaws of the Lion insert. And Richard, you talked a little bit about that. But what I would really like to ask you is, putting Cephalofair inserts aside, what is the insert that you look back on and say, genuinely, I had the most fun designing and playing and getting to interact with this game and create an accessory for it? Because I know it wasn't Frosthaven. I'm just going to cut that one out, and we'll be right to the chase. Give me your true favorite insert that you've designed to date.
My favorite truly is the one we made for brass. Whenever I try and make an insert, I try and pack in as much functionality as I can. Yeah. And I also try and use as little material as possible. So we try and use literally every square millimeter of the sheets that we produce. Just as a side, we actually do work to 0.5 millimeters is the precision that we work to in the design process. But I try and get as much as I can into the sheets. And the insert that we made for brass is just 4 sheets. It's €15.50, which is $19 as a price. So it's very affordable. It works both with brass Lancashire, brass Birmingham. It works also in the deluxe versions of both games. And it was a hard one to do because there's a lot of components, a lot of stuff to organize, and then doing that functionality, dual functionality, is always difficult. But we managed to really use every square millimeter of the sheets, and it was a very satisfying one to do. And I think it's great. It also comes with 2 kind of factory buildings that you build out of our material, which go into the deluxe box and hold the
iron clays.
The iron clay casino chip tokens in place. Yeah, hold that box in place. And so there's even the theme of the game in the cuts of the insert itself. So that's my favorite one. Yeah, that we worked on.
Very cool. Liz, is that also your favorite, or is there another one that you look back on fondly?
My favorite is definitely the Mansions of Madness one. We made that one. That was before I started working with Full Space, but I knew Richard and I'd gone to conventions with them and stuff. So they used my Mansions of Madness collection, and I just love how much we can get in that box. Like, so many expansions fit in there. It's super functional. I love that game, and that insert makes it way more playable. And so I really like that one, and I love getting to show that one off at conventions. And people are always like, wow, you got so much in there. Does that all really fit in there?
That is one of my top 5 games easily, and I own it all. So there's a ton of content for sure. And I think you might have just sold me on an insert. So I'm gonna have to go check that out because I know I don't play it enough, and I definitely need to play it more. So. Well, excellent. Well, thank you both for sharing those insights. Before we leave, are there any other just upcoming projects, not even Cephalofair related, that you just want to plug real quick? Anything we should keep an eye on? Where are you going to be next in terms of conventions or expos internationally?
Yeah, the next big one for us is Gen Con. That's the big one that's coming up. Liz can tell you more about it, but for the first time, we'll be at Gen Con, yeah.
Yeah, we're really excited about that. We didn't think we'd get a booth this year, but we got offered one pretty recently. So we've been rushing to put together a team and get product there. So we'll have, like Richard said, we'll have Jaws of the Lion, but there's also several other products that will be debuting there. So we'll also have a few limited copies of the new Nidavellir insert and the Jerusalem Anno Domini one. But there's also quite a few inserts that haven't quite reached the US distribution. So like the West Kingdom inserts, our Revive insert, Frostpunk, Autobahn, Fantastic Factories, and a lot of other ones that we have made and have been available through our site, but they haven't reached US distribution. So if you want any of those, we'll have good quantities of them. The new Lost Ruins of Arnak the color version that fits all the
Mhm.
expansions. We'll have that as well. Yeah, so definitely come and check us out at Gen Con.
Cool.
Yep, and we're all on a strict diet now until we go, because there's literally no space on the stand for people. So we've all got to kind of fit around this little narrow area around the edge, because there's going to be so much stock, because it's a 10 by 10 stand, but we want to use every square foot of it to the max. So there'll be a lot of stuff there. So yeah, we hope to meet a lot of fans.
Yeah, we'll still manage to have 100 different products on our booth. So even though it's small, we're gonna have a lot there.
Yeah,
that's insane. I can't even imagine the inventory management, Richard. Like, I think about publishers, right? Like these publishers that have 30, 40, 50 plus SKUs, right, in their belts. But you have a SKU for just about every publisher's game out there. So that just talk to us a little bit about that. Like, how cumbersome, how many storage facilities, what does that look like on your end? Because that sounds like a lot to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's kind of grown, yeah, because the business has grown, and so it's not a scary thing for us, because it's something we've adapted to and grown used to. But we have a very large warehouse here in Sofia. We have, I think, currently about 800 pallets in the warehouse. That's including foam and raw materials, and also products which are ready. And we carry a good stock of 160 plus, so as I said, 166 products. And so we're ready to deliver whenever a distributor or a retailer makes an order. We're ready to ship any orders on our website, folderspace.com. We're ready to fulfill at a moment's notice. We don't manufacture to order. We carry stock in advance. And yeah, when we go to a convention, it's quite a big undertaking. I mean, to UKG, we took, how many was it? 8 pallets. To Essen, we usually take 11, 12. And we really have a stand with 160 or more products all lined up on shelves. And that's what people want. People want to come and buy stuff that they didn't necessarily find in their local store. Spur of the moment decisions. Oh, you got one for Sulkin. I'll take that. And so yeah, no, it is quite a lot of stuff. It's quite a lot of management, quite a lot of stock control. And also it means that we have to have a lot of stock in the US with our ACD distribution partner. And so you can find a lot of our stuff in stores in the US, because ACD carries a big range of our stuff in their warehouse and are ready to service retailers in the US, again, at the same kind of notice, very quick.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I've seen the booth in Essen, and I've seen the size of the team that you had to bring with you to set that up and tear that down, and it was impressive to say the least. So I just can't wait till you all start making your own booths out of foam. That's what I.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
We made a table. Why can't we make a booth?
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's your April 1st for next year that you can announce you're coming with a full foam booth to Gen Con. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just
But then
a
it might
great
not
big
be
bucket of glue.
Lots of white glue required for that.
Yeah.
And we will hopefully have a table on our stand at Essen Spiel, so you can come check it out there and see it in person.
Yeah, and roll the dice for yourself in the dice tower in the leg. It's very satisfying.
We'll have to set up a perimeter for Tom Vassell just in case he shows up with another.
Exactly. No Frosthaven near the table.
Cool. Well, I just want to thank you both for your time today, and thank all of our backers for joining us for today's stream. It's been really great talking to some of our closest partners in licensing and accessories. So thank you both for jumping on. And yeah, we can't wait to talk more about the updates and the map archives as we continue development and production on those. So we'll be sure to keep backers updated in the backer kit updates, and we'll be sure to keep you posted on the native insert as well as the folded space insert, as well as announcements for the upcoming Jaws of the Lion. So Liz, Richard, thank you both for your time today, and thank you everyone at home.
Thank you very much.
Enjoy the festival.
Thanks a lot for having us. It's been great.